Okay, now I totally blanked last episode. I was supposed to record a Gig Harbor minute.
Gig Harbor has some issues. Yes, it does.
We have a new segment on the podcast because I and my family are freshly moved to Gig Harbor, so we're going to give some. I'm going to give some my observations living in Gig Harbor. One of the episodes that got deleted because, like I said, my brother and I, we deleted like 8 episodes because of various reasons, medical emergencies, sound problems. And one of the things we talked about is my sort of reputation, you know, my imagination of what Gig Harbor was like growing up in Port Orchard, because we didn't come this way. We might as well have gone to Spokane than go to Gig Harbor. Gig Harbor at that time, you know, when I was growing up, was a place you drove through to get on the other side of the bridge. There was no reason to stop there. Now, like it or not, stereotypes are there for a reason. And Gig Harbor, to me, is full of either rich or old people or rich old people. Now, is everybody in Gig Harbor rich? No. Is everybody in Gig Harbor old? Also no. But stereotypes are there for a reason. And you know what? Even since moving there, they pretty much hold true. There's more money than there is in Port Orchard, and there's more old people, I think. And so I'm going to have a new segment during the week. It may be long, it may be short. You're going to hear it on this podcast. That's why I have some music. And we're going to talk about Gig Harbor things. And some of them are going to be more serious, and some of them are just going to be more stupid. I have a more stupid one, but I want to talk about the more serious one first. But it's also stupid, but it's also serious. And it gets to my main feelings about Gig Harbor. So right sort of near my... I live sort of off Reed Road or Drive or Street or Avenue or whatever it is. But if you go down the hill like you're going to old downtown or whatever
Big
they
Nate's
call it.
Trading Cards.
Yeah, I'm going down to Big Nate's. I'm going to stop and get a coffee at
William and Patrick's.
Yeah,
Shout
exactly.
out to the Sarahs.
Yeah, I'm going down there. There's a 25 mile an hour sign. And did you see this in my notes?
I may have read it, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know what the sign is?
The light up one?
No, it's not the light up one.
That catches your speed?
No, but I love those. See how high I can get. No, there's another one. There's a speed limit sign just as you start to descend that has another sign right under it. And it reads...
This isn't a racetrack.
No, it says... Well, first of all, the top says speed limit 25.
Right.
You know, just like any old speed limit sign. Then under it, this means you.
What?
Now, if
Is that DOT approved?
If there is a sign that sort of affirms my stereotype of Gig Harbor, it is that 25 mile an hour. This means you. I don't know if you call that passive aggressive.
And wouldn't it be that means you?
I don't know. I'm not really hung up on the grammar. I'm hung up on the message.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I don't know if you call it passive aggressive. It just seems aggressive.
Yeah.
But it also seems condescending.
Yes.
And this brings up a theme that I've talked about in the past about parenting and such, is there comes a point where you don't have any, potentially, you may not have any real authority over your child or whatever. So your only sort of way you can get your point across is, you can't control your kid anymore because you don't have any authority in their life anymore.
Yeah.
So the way you try to control them is through like passive aggressive statements or sort of manipulative statements and things like that. And in a town full of entitled people, that's exactly how this sign reads. 25 miles an hour. This means you.
I need to look for this because I pass it all the time going like 40 miles an hour.
I mean, put a cop there. Put a speed bump there. Put multiple speed bumps. Put a speed hump there.
Love a speed hump.
Put a sign that looks like two breastises from a downward angle and make the sign say humps and have everybody snicker at it. There's lots of other things you could have put there than something that said, this means you. And when I say...
It feels like a threat.
When I say I have a negative sort of like opinion built in, I'm trying not to. I'm really trying not to. I think I mentioned that before. All the people I've met have been so nice. But this sort of built-in opinion that I've sort of picked up through osmosis.
Yeah.
Like I said, we didn't visit. We didn't go anywhere as children.
And you even got a comment on the pod Instagram of a Gaharbarian that was unhappy with your opinion.
In Port Orchard, there's no sign that says 25 miles an hour, this means you. But 25 miles an hour, this means you is...
Someone said, not cool, bro. Not cool.
I think that was our Japanese listener.
Yeah.
I will actually say the place I moved, the block...
It's lit when I stopped by.
Poppin'.
Block party.
And...
What was her name? Linda? Listen, Linda. What was her name?
Yeah.
Not the one with the kids, but the other one.
I can't think it. I'm in podcast mode right now, not
Karen.
remember my neighbors mode.
Sharon.
No, not Karen. Okay, I can't do this right now.
Okay.
I can't switch over. I can't switch modes.
She runs the block, though.
Mean median mode. Yeah. So there's Run the Block lady. There's people who moved up from California lady. Now tonight, I just want to say I met my neighbor across the street and I had a great time. And why I wanted to bring it up is I had a great first conversation with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've talked before about meeting people. And this is what I need your help. I feel like I can have a great first conversation with somebody because, okay, I'll just say this. This guy, manly kind of guy. I talked about before I was trying to threaten a veteran and stuff like that.
Yes, with the dryer.
And so that dryer still working, transported well.
Haven't had to throw it in his yard.
And it would be more of an effort now because I'd have to go back to Port Orchard. But I met my neighbor, and it's his girlfriend's house, but he's there, and he does commercial construction.
Is the girlfriend there?
The girlfriend's there.
They're both there.
He's there sometimes. He has another place in Arlington. They're not full
age.
37 next week. 37 last week. Happy birthday, Dave. I think it's Dave.
Let's call him Dave.
But I had a crisis because Declan wanted me to play outside. He was already playing outside in the front. Now, he hasn't played outside in the front since I've been there. He hasn't been there full time. They have a 2-year-old. Well, his girlfriend.
Oh, that guy hasn't been there.
Yeah, he hasn't been there every day. Girlfriend has a 2-year-old.
From a previous relationship?
I guess so. I don't know if it's a relationship or not. Some sort of dalliance. But as soon as it came out of my mouth.
I was going to ask if you could create some sort of... you like to create music. I don't even know how to spell it. Dalliance? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
If you could create like a little like the more you know jingle for whenever I read,
Yeah, that's funny. It's funny.
whenever I read a definition. Dalliance, a casual, romantic, or sexual relationship, or a brief or casual involvement with someone. Jack was not averse to an occasional dalliance with a pretty girl.
Exactly. So, and I'm not saying in a judgmental way. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know the whole situation. I don't know if they've been together for 3 years. Maybe they got together the day after she got pregnant with somebody else. I don't know. Maybe they were already together and she cheated on him. She kept the baby. He stayed with her. Maybe they've been together for 10 years. I don't know.
They've been together for 10 years and she just adopted it.
Him.
She. Maybe she just adopted.
True. And so, anyways,
so he's
multiple
like,
scenarios.
Look, that's her kid. She got it online.
His closest neighbor was a mile away. See, this is my crisis.
Is this why he's friendly? Because he's from...
This is my crisis, though, because this is what I was wearing.
You may remember on a previous episode, I bought Michael a long shirt.
Now, I was in full joke mode tonight. I was going to come dressed as Pete Davidson, but I chickened out.
With the white jacket?
Yeah, because he had the dress sort of thing. Now, I said to Will, because I'm looking Persian tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I got the earrings on. I got the necklace swag. I got a shirt that goes down to right above my knee. Mm-hmm. It is a shirt, but it goes down to right above my knee. Yep. And I got the tight, not tight joggers. Sweats, but I got the joggers on. They're also black. The shirt is black. And I feel like I'm looking, what did I say tonight? Persian. I'm looking Persian tonight. Got my hair up. But also what I'm looking, and I had slides on. So also what I'm looking at is much, much, much more feminine than a heavy metal playing, horse breaking, constructor, high vis guy like Dave.
Mm-hmm. He plays heavy metal.
That's part of it too. Mm. He came up here to be in a band with his brother and somebody else. Like the relationships got confusing.
What's the band
after
called? Shout out.
I think it was called Anomaly, but I tried to find it. I was like, "Is it out there?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Maybe," but it was hard because again, last episode, there's lots of bands called Anomaly,
right?
Specifically metal because it's got that ambiguous sort of like.
It's like I know
angst.
A guy who has started a band called Alice in Chains, IN Chains, and the singer left and started a band called Alice in Chains.
Oh man, it's like that. It's like, what is this? Blue Panoramas? What? And so, anyway, total nice guy, but I can have a great first conversation because there's lots of details for me to get into. Did he play in a heavy metal band? Yes. Took piano lessons, but has he been 9 different positions at his company and I was a supervisor? Yes. Was his birthday last week? Yes. Did he grow up in Tahoe? Yes. Closest neighbor, mile away, broke horses, blah, 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 blah. He stayed here. His first house was in Everett. He lives in Arlington. He comes down. He's going to have a job.
Where the cemetery's at.
He just got done building a Jersey Mike, something like that. But then he's going to be building a 3-story tech company building in Everett soon. So it's like...
You really dove in.
Yeah, that's because I can handle my first conversation. I try to sort of get into their world.
Yeah.
I try to make them feel good.
Right. I can relate. I feel most comfortable in the new conversation because I don't know anything about them.
Exactly. So we meet all those people and they say about that guy, the neighbors across the street.
They don't like him.
Not that they don't like him. They just say they haven't interacted with him.
Oh.
And I'm like,
but now you're right in front of him.
Exactly. Well, I'm like, I guess I'm not going to interact with them. Here's all these people on the street and the kids are playing every day.
Yeah.
With each other out on the road being hooligans.
It was lit when I was there, yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's weird that those people aren't out or whatever, because I've seen them. They're around our age, obviously, 37.
Mm-hmm.
And the people I met from California, also 37. It's like,
Oh, weird.
we should have a joint something.
37
We should just have a
party.
joint.
37 club.
And so I'm like, I guess I'm not going to meet him. 2 days later, I meet him. We have a nice conversation, even though I'm dressed like a Persian. And he's dressed like a construction guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I can handle the first conversation, but this is how he wraps it up. He goes, well, I'm going to be around this weekend. Maybe you guys can come over. We have a fire pit in the backyard. We'll have some beers. And I
Dropped the mic.
Okay, so I need to ask you something after I pee.
Mm-hmm.
I've been having...
I know. I went twice in like 20 minutes.
So this is what I'm saying. What do I do? Not only because I don't drink beer and I'm not manly and I was dressed like a Persian,
Mm-hmm.
but also because I just... What do I do?
Do you want to drink beer? Or not because of the cows?
The not drinking beer is easy. I don't get embarrassed or feel like put on the spot about that sort of thing. I could easily just go, that's good. I'm not really, I don't.
Have you had like Rainier or whatever at Mike's?
I do not like the taste of most beers.
Yeah.
The only one I can kind of drink sometimes is Corona, and I know people don't like that because it tastes
People always say it tastes skunky.
skunky.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't taste skunky to me.
What
It tastes so light that I can actually stand the taste of it.
Yeah, have you had Rainier?
Yes.
Too strong?
Mike Denny is my father-in-law.
That's what I'm...
Of
you didn't
course.
answer my question. That's what I asked.
Yes.
It's not about what you drink. It's that you're drinking
You're
with the other person.
You're caught up on the drinking. I don't even care about the drinking. I'm talking about the conversation. You're Mr. Travel Around.
Well, you were talking about beer.
That's the first thing I said about the beer was that that's easy for me to get past.
Oh, okay. So what's your issue?
You're Mr. Travel the PNW.
Yeah.
And meet new people and go to restaurants and be at bars. And then you make these friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about, I got a neighbor. His name is Dave, I think.
Yeah.
And the other neighbors, they gave us eggs and they put it in a carton and they wrote their cell phone numbers on it.
Oh, jeez.
Isn't that sweet?
You gotta buy him dinner. What do you want about going to the fire at Dave's house?
I just want to be a nice person. I
Should we all go? Should I bring a 20 rack? I'm stuck on the beer again.
My feeling is, okay, here's my feeling. I don't want to get too weird on the podcast right now because I'm not trying to go there.
Because we've never done that before.
I'm not trying. I just don't want to go there on this episode. But like I've talked about before, it's just like some of my interests or some of the places my brain goes is not the places that other people are at. And so it's hard for me to meet them halfway. So that's why, like a first conversation, I can go like, "Oh,
Everything's
you're this
new."
Yeah, I mean, him and I talked for half an hour, but he doesn't know anything about me.
Right. I think what you
Maybe I'll do that next time.
What you
So
do,
I'll get 2 at least.
they don't have to like the same things as you, blah, blah, blah. But just to be interested in the other person, whatever it is. He seems like a talker. Obviously, if he talked for half an hour about himself, people love talking about themselves.
Yeah.
You know, just find that one thing that you could talk about, whether it's like movies or whatever. And then it's like when you always see that, when you like run into that guy at work, it's like you always have the same conversation about, you know.
Yeah.
Like there's this person at work that always talks to me about.
Like I had to text
about
Karen
food.
this week about Kourtney Kardashian. Yes.
Right. Yeah, this one. Is it all about her? What's his name? Disick's
No. I thought
screen caps.
No, it was about her Skims ad with Megan Fox.
Oh boy, those four are really pushing the envelope. But it's not. You have that one thing that you can kind of connect on, but just go hang out. The thing about your situation is you are hanging out due to proximity, so it's not because you're best friends. It's because it's convenient. Yeah. You don't have to be best homies.
And sometimes the ladies can keep it going.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I've been hiding a little something in my pocket. I kind of let it out there.
You want to borrow some of my work clothes?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've been hiding a little something in my pocket, which is I did tell you he played in a band, and then he brought it. So then we started talking about music, blah, blah, blah. What do you play? He plays a lot of stuff. That's when I found out he played piano lessons, or he took piano lessons. His mom was a piano teacher.
What does he play in the metal band?
I think he played guitar, and I asked him what he played, and then he took it to mean like what instruments can you play totals. Then we started talking about that because he could play Bach or Beethoven by ear, and his mom was mad that he could play it, but he couldn't read music because she was a piano teacher. It's like, that's my son,
My boy.
My boy. But anyway, when he was in this band, they actually did like little tours and stuff in Canada, West Coast, Seattle, El Corazon.
band.
What was it before El Corazon?
It was the Underpass.
That's not what it was. Unless it was something before.
Unless it was Underpass and then something and then El Corazon.
And
Studio 7.
so anyway,
Showbox.
But then he talked about he was at he learned how to do stuff at this studio in Seattle, blah, 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 when he was in this band. And then he started talking about Pro Tools.
Oh, boy.
And that's when we got into it. Just a little bit.
You guys are going to be a regular old Billie Eilish and Phineas.
I told him about my plan from last episode. He said he still has a rig.
Yeah.
So that's how manly he is.
Gotta get rigged.
He uses rig words when they're not in a
Crane operation.
Yes. He's using He's so manly. He's using construction words for computers. Rigs. I mean, I know people use that word. I was just making it funny. So, I need to talk about insert Gig Harbor music here.
Gig Harbor has some issues. Yes, it does.
Sorry that you heard it twice in one episode, but it's funny. Remember I sent it to you? I liked it.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is Gig Harbor Opinions. I have to bring it up. It's usually going to be once per episode or 0 per episode, but this time it's twice. And this has to do with when I went into Fred Meyer for the first time. Now, you all know I am missing my late night Walmart trips.
Right.
And so I went into Fred Meyer. I didn't know where anything is. It's arranged different than the Fred Meyer, back in PO.
I do not like for one, it's not a full Fred Meyer.
For one, it doesn't have a Fred Meyer jeweler. That's my first problem.
It doesn't have Fred Meyer Daycare Center.
Yeah.
Does the Portage one still have that? The babysitting thing?
Yes, I think COVID it shut down, but Port Orchard has the Fred Meyer Max, okay? It has the full Fred Meyer experience.
The full Kroger experience.
Yeah.
The quintessential Fred Meyer experience.
Quintessential, if you will.
I'm on currently a website of words to use in conversation to make you sound smart.
Quintessential. Quint.
5.
Oh, But how did that become? That's exactly what I just thought right now.
I don't know.
Gosh, I would love to read a paper on that. I would love to read a PhD thesis on how quintessential became our word for tippy top when quint.
It's not tippy top. It's stereotypical. According to this.
Yeah.
Representing the most typical, oh, you're right, or perfect example of quality.
Quintessential.
Go ahead, Fred Meyer.
Gosh, I'm stuck on quintessential now.
Philosophers and scientists of the ancient world and Middle Ages believed that the world we inhabit is entirely made up of four elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Aristotle added the fifth element, ether, in which he meant that materials were filled by the rest of space. It's ether. Okay, mostly invisibly, but sometimes taking the form of words describe the elements. The fifth element, described quinta essentia, came to standing for anything so perfect that it seemed to surpass the limitations of Earth. Today, we generally use quintessential rather freely to describe just about anything that represents the best of its kind. All five elements. Quint, five, essential elements.
Now
Quinta, essentia, quintessential.
Listener, if you take away anything from 67 or whatever episodes of this podcast, just know that I just love that moment.
Me too. I really love etymology. Is that what it is?
Oh my gosh. That just makes me so happy.
I would have never have thought of that. Because I definitely knew it was quint, Latin 5.
Exactly. Essential, you can kind of get there. That meaning of that word hasn't changed that much.
Yeah.
But then, wow.
And there were the four natural elements: earth, air, water, fire. But then Aristotle threw in the ether. So now we have 5. Or else it could have been, if it weren't for Aristotle, it would have been quintessential.
Does not roll off the tongue as well.
Quintessential.
Okay, but I need to tell you that at Fred Meyer, so I didn't know where anything was, and I was looking for crab packs because Tammy likes her fake crab. And there is a cold little thing that is beyond. It's basically in the bakery section, which doesn't make sense, but it's beyond
The left or right?
the left.
Yeah.
Back to the bakery side. It's beyond the actual like meat cutter person because all the all the cuts of meat.
There's like a one row all the way to the back left.
And there's one little cooler stand right there that has some of the packaged stuff like the fake crab packs. So it was there, but but also this is partly me. Like if I look for something, this is like ADHD. If I look for something for 2 seconds and can't find it, my brain goes, "Okay, it's not here. It's over. Forget it. This is stupid, dumb. Get out. Stress."
Yeah.
And
I feel you because when I moved here, the Fred Meyer that's 1 block away that I'd love to go to because it's 1 block away. It's Fred Meyer Marketplace.
oh, like Fred Meyer across the street used to be, across the freeway in Gig Harbor.
Yeah, old Fred Meyer Gig Harbor. Yeah, which then was Main and Vine.
FM.
Yeah, which I believe is going to be now Metropolitan Market.
No, you're wrong. You're thinking QFC. Old Fred Meyer Market is Ross
Yes.
and Ulta.
Yes. You're right. Anyway, it's Fred Meyer Marketplace. So it's like only grocery, no chance of anything else. Maybe 1 aisle of cleaning supplies.
I mean, this one might as well be. Let's be honest.
True.
LBH.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm looking around. Now. If you know the outfit, if you know the uniform of a Fred Meyer person, it's usually
Gray polo.
No, you're wrong. It's usually a black shirt with red letters, Fred Meyer.
Black apron.
and a black apron.
Khakis.
I looked around. There were so many freaking black coats in Fred Meyer. This is like day 2 of being in Gig Harbor. There were so many
It's also
black.
the first week of rain this year.
There were so many black coats in Fred Meyer. Now, let me tell you, listener, there were 2 type of coats. There was that slick black coat that is sometimes at Costco. It's like
The slim puffer.
there's the slim puffer, there's the puffer one, and then there's also the rain one, half rain. They market it as a rain one, but it doesn't keep the rain off. And it's like Onyx or Oryx or something. It has a weird name. And then it changes every 2 years. So there's that jacket, and there's a North Face jacket or a Patagonia jacket. Everybody.
North Face is the slim puffer, I feel like.
And this is one thought I had in there. So I couldn't find anybody because everybody was freaking dressed the same. And then I had a thought. It's like, this is my thought. I have a podcast. I need to talk about things. Here's one thing I could think. Here's one thing I could talk about. No, my real thought was, it's funny because Gig Harbor is sort of a trendy town. You know what I mean?
To get on their trends.
Go to Target, go to Costco in the middle of the day. You see all the moms, they're all dressed the same. That's what I was talking about in Fred Meyer. They're all dressed the same. And let me tell you, I'm going to give Port Orchard a little bit of props here. That one thing about being trendy is there's a lot of people dressed like you.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's something to
It's
being...
like, have you heard of that fall season is Han Solo season?
Oh, yeah.
The girls wearing the
vest and
boots, the
and
black vest. Yeah.
Coachella. Now, there is something to being trendy because you're on trend. You're with the trend. People see you as the next level of cool.
Cool vibes.
But the bad thing about that is you are sort of dressed either, as my experience was, the exact same.
Oh, yeah.
Or within the same realm as everybody else. And one thing I like about Port Orchard, now, if you remember old school What Not to Wear, where it was like, what's his name? Anyways.
The guy and the girl?
Yeah.
They do and she had the gray streak in her hair.
Oh, yeah. Sexy.
Shoot. What are their names?
I can't, it's like on the tip of my tongue right now.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm in podcast mode. I can't think, my brain doesn't have time to think about that kind of thing. Even though it's like trying to think of it.
Stacy London and Clinton Kelly.
And Clinton.
Stacy and Clinton.
Even though they would have some real psychos on that show, and they would say, "This is what makes me comfortable. This is what makes me feel good. This is who I am." They
only wear green sweaters.
Exactly. They'd be like, "This is how people know me." They're like, "I'm the quirky girl who wears rainbow. So I wear rainbow every day." And it's like, yeah, people know you as the girl who wears rainbow every day because you're kind of a freak. But also, it's like there's something sort of admirable about that when you compare it against 27 people in Fred Meyer the same age wearing the same jacket. There's something admirable about Rainbow Girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's going her own way.
You can go your own way. Go your own way. Remember when it gets kind of like gravelly at that one point? So anyway, that's my Gig Harbor minute. It's trendy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have another thing about driving. That's
what really gets me.
This is my first day in the thing. I go I was on my way to Fred Meyer Complex. I was actually going to Wells Fargo. I was about to withdraw my money because
You're at the Fargo?
I'm at the Fargo. I've been on the Fargo since I was like 16.
Same. And then I gave up on them and switched to JP Morgan Chase.
I can't do it because they give me points and that's how I pay for my Christmas presents now. It's just too much of a thing. I can't leave. And so anyway, I was going to withdraw the cash because that's how I keep it separate for my music career.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to get a little bit of money. And then when I withdrew $800, Landon's brain about melted out of his ears because he's like, 800, kids.
That's like 4 Nintendo Switches.
So I pull in there, and strangely, there's a pancake place 2 things over.
There is?
Some kind of restaurant or something.
There's that Hop Jacks type place.
Yeah.
There's a pancake place? Or they had pancakes?
What's Hop Jacks?
It's not called Hop Jacks, but it's like the same logo as Hop Jacks. It's just like a basic
Okay. Hold on.
restaurant.
Okay. Sorry, podcast listeners. Google Maps. Wait, Hops and Drops?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Same complex.
Traditional American cuisine.
But anyway, so I'm going there and I'm pulling in and now when I say I'm not close to this guy, I actually mean in all actuality, I'm not close to this guy. I'm many multiples of 10.
Like relationship wise or?
I'm many multiples of 10 feet away from this guy. And I'm going slow. I saw the sign, 25. This means you.
Yeah.
I'm going even slower because I'm in a parking lot. I'm going to Wells Fargo, just there to use the ATM, withdraw some money.
I used the ATM to get cash to go see Barber Son.
So then,
Mark's Barber Shop.
So this is my very first day in Gig Harbor.
Oh boy.
And I'm thinking about all these things. We talked about on the podcast. We talked about reputation. We talked about all these things. And I pull in. I'm many feet away. This guy did not park in front of the restaurant. He parked across from it where there's a driveway. So I'm driving that driveway.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking across the parking lot many tens of feet away. And he stares me down.
Oh, yeah.
As if I'm doing something wrong. And I'm honest with you. I embarrassed myself last podcast. Am I the blue panoramas on Instagram? Yeah, I am. Am I somewhat embarrassed about that? Yes.
No.
Is it somewhat pretentious? Yes. Could I create a story behind it? Unfortunately, I could. And I didn't share that part.
Did you tell the guy, hey, we're the blue panoramas. Get to know me.
Did I say Pandora's?
No.
Okay.
Did I say
panoramas? That? No. I was afraid I did because I almost did.
Panoramas. Panamas.
And he stared me down. And just for any Gig Harbor person out there who's listening, I will crash my car to win a stare down. That's what this guy didn't know. He picked the wrong stare down guy.
You're like, I ain't from around here.
I will plow my Honda Fit into any Audi anywhere if it means I win a staring contest.
I'm not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. And he lost that staring contest even though I was driving. And I felt good about that. And I felt better about myself. So I'm bringing the pretentiousness to Gig Harbor. You think you can out-pretentious me? No. I'm more judgmental than you about your pretentiosity.
And if you go back like 10 episodes, there's a quote from Michael where he loves being judged.
I love being judged so I can judge.
Nothing gets him off more than someone judging him and thinking that they're better than him.
You don't want to know what I've done to somebody judging me. Anyways.
So you like Gig Harbor?
You know what? Honestly, the people all in our neighborhood are so freaking
That was
nice.
cool. The day I was there, that was awesome. We were just walking and scootering, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, you want pizza? You want to jump on the trampoline? You want to wine? Whatever."
Yeah, that's how it is.
They're like, "Hey, I'm Linda. I'm Steve. I got a fluffy dog."
Yep.
That's probably never had a bath in its life. I didn't want to say that, but something was up with that dog's fur. Either it was not supposed to be cut like that, or it was dirty or something.
The reddish dog?
No, it was black. Black, dark brown.
I didn't see that. What are you talking about?
When we walked up to them, when we just walked out, and there was them, and there was the awkward guy who was like, "I'm Steve. I'm out of here."
The awkward guy.
Yeah.
And
he had the dog.
His wife is not awkward. I took it as a mix.
It has issues.
No. I think you're wrong. I think it has a little
Mange.
What's the Korean dog? Shibu
Inu.
Inu?
No.
I didn't want to be racist. I think it's yeah. You know what? I'm gonna make friends with that guy just so I can ask him what breed his dog is.
Please do.
And if he doesn't, I'm gonna have his dog spit in a vial so I can find out.
It's been a year, and I think I know dogs by now. Okay.
Oh gosh, this guy learns about gay tales, and now he thinks he knows everything about dogs.
Oh my gosh, the puppy peed on me.
Blue
yesterday.
healer.
Oh
yeah. Well, my kid peed in a basket because he was not awake all the way, and he thought he was peeing in a toilet. And it was 10:30, and he just peed on some tampons in a basket.
Wait, post move because he didn't know where the toilet was.
Yeah, last night actually.
Wait, which kid?
Declan.
Older or younger?
He woke up, and Landon's had this problem too. It's he doesn't wake up all the way, so he walked into our bathroom, but we have a pedestal sink, and below it is a basket, which is mainly tampons. And instead of moving 1 foot over to the toilet, he was so out of it that he just peed straight into the basket.
So I had a friend in junior high, and he had bunk beds with his brother. And in the morning, there was pee in this corner, and it was blamed on the cat. And they'd rub the cat's nose in it or whatever. And
I thought you just do that with dogs.
I don't know. Well, the cat got punished in some way, and his little brother would just be crying while the cat was getting punished. And one day he's awake, and he sees his brother just get out of bed and go to the corner and just pee in the corner. And then it was just funny because for weeks the cat was getting punished and the kid was crying. His younger brother's crying. Then he finally fessed up that it was the younger brother peeing in the garden. He got in some trouble.
But was it on purpose or not?
It was kind of on purpose. I think.
See, this is not on purpose. So if your children have done this, let me know,
I feel
because both of my children has done this.
I feel like John probably has a story about this.
Yeah, Landon, I had to he tried to pee in the pantry a couple times, and I had to get to him fast enough so I could redirect him so he could pee in the appropriate place. And Declan was in the bathroom, so I didn't try to redirect him. And even though I could tell when he walked through our room,
I never pee in the middle of the night.
He was out of it.
Even when I was a kid, I don't remember.
And I will tell you, and this is where I need the parents to comment, is it usually happens when they're having a growth spurt. I feel like. It usually happens when they're having a growth spurt because I think they want to wake up, but their bodies are so exhausted or something that they don't wake up all the way.
I just had a memory. I would be in, we did the addition on the house growing up. And so I
have constant memories. Go ahead.
When the house was added onto, and I was in the far room, the garage room, previous garage room,
my old room,
and in high school or whatever, and so I'd stay up late past my bedtime. And so I didn't want to go all the way to the opposite end of the house next to mom and dad's room to go to the bathroom. So I would just go into the garage, open the garage side door that goes to the gravel,
yeah, yep.
just stand in the door and
Same.
pee into the gravel.
Same. Anyways,
Nothing like just peeing into gravel or grass where you don't have to aim at all and you can just stand there.
like the podcast, share with a friend. Please share. Please tell somebody about it. If you like pee, if you like Gig Harbor, if you like meeting guys named Dave, share this podcast.
We're going to need to update on the Dave date.
Yeah. Usually,
I actually, if you want to throw it out there, just say, hey, I have a brother or two.
you know what I was thinking? Yeah.
He lives just down the road. Would it be cool if he come? He drinks beer. Send us a review on something, Apple or Spotify.
5 stars, but then leave your comment.
Yeah, we don't have a review yet, so please review.